Hey guys, welcome back to the third part of the tutorial series. This time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This is the Pyro route through Berg, because it is a bit different. So the first important thing is that you actually rest at the Firelink bonfire. This is the only run that does this, and you level your dex to 10, and that'll come into play a bit later on. We grab the humanity because there's really not a reason not to grab it. Aside from, taking time. But if you are going to be skipping, great. If you are going to be skipping the Izalith bosses, it's just better to have those humanity. There is, I believe, the record route for this run, albeit nobody runs it, but fairly certain the record run for this route does ceaseless skip as well as skip the two Izalith bosses. So you're going to want as much humanity as you need, which would be the 30, and then some extra for ceaseless skip. So the reason I'm running down this way first is because I need to buy some stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to purchase item. We're going to purchase about 4 throwing knives, should be good. Nothing else in this spot. And some people like to buy that dagger, but I don't. I actually just like to buy the bow and then arrows. The reason that I'm just using all of my souls on the arrows is because I just need some arrows, and it's faster menu manipulation, and your souls don't matter too much in this run. They're not too precise. So that hollow can obviously hit you there. Pretty much anything can hit you at almost any point. Great. So far this is going phenomenally well. Basically, Undead Berg can be pretty much just a nightmare in terms of RNG, which is random number generation for the people who have not yet heard the term. So here we have to grab resin, so we can use it for a specific boss, which we are actually fighting. Now this is where it gets weird, because we're diverging from the standard path, and we're actually going to be killing the Taurus demon. So you want to be pretty much near full health, just whatever works for you. And then just pop the resin, and hand axe can poise break the Taurus demon quite quickly, and quite easily, as long as you're two-handing. So Taurus is kind of a pain because Taurus has those weird attacks that have like a shockwave almost. But fortunately, if you just time your attacks properly, it takes about 4 hits to stagger, as you saw. If you time your hits properly, you won't have to really deal with him. Underneath his legs and rolling through his legs are the safest ways to be. So here you'll see I'm going to attempt to make it to this little alcove without getting hit by fire, which can be difficult sometimes, but we should get it. Nope. Almost. It's not exactly luck-based, but it feels that way sometimes. So this is where the throwing knives come in handy. You just kind of want to feel out, an angle, and once you've got it, try to aim for the wings are the most consistent. Stay at the foot for just a second, and then 3 hits chops the Drake Sword off. And that is the weapon that we will be using for a bit. And that is why we needed the point and dex. So now we have our Drake Sword, and I will Estus here. You want to get in here. If you're going to Estus there, you want to like actually get through the gate before Estusing, otherwise that fire breath can kill you. The reason I'm running this way is both to avoid the boar and grab these alluring skulls. Now, you probably don't understand why I grabbed alluring skulls, which makes sense, but you will see why. So I just killed that guy. You can roll past him, but it really doesn't save enough time to be relevant. So here's an important part where you have to be fast. You have to hit the button and then sprint right back out. As you can see, I pretty much did it perfectly. So that'll send the lift down. So basically, even if this ends up being a horrible experience, I also was supposed to mess with my inventory a little bit earlier, so you can actually alluring skull to get past that guy. and you can Alluring Skull this room, which is helpful because this room can be a pain. So I messed that up. But what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to throw an Alluring Skull into the room. All of the hollows will start walking through it, and you can just walking towards it, and you can just sprint through the room. So you won't have to deal with the hollows at all. If you don't pick up the Alluring Skulls, which you don't necessarily have to, they don't really save too much time, you can just do what I did and hope for the best. It's somewhat luck, but it can also just be good timing. So now we made it to Gargoyles, obviously, and this will begin the main part of this tutorial, and that is the Gargoyles fight. So first we're doing Drake Sword fight, and we will see how this goes. I'll try to point out important things as they happen. As you can see, Gargoyles going for a long attack. I want to chop the tail as fast as possible, and then I can go one hit. It's 3 hits to stagger. So as you can see, I'm going for 3 hits a lot. So every time that I stagger, I want that to be part of a 3-hit combo, so I can actually just next hit stagger. And as you can see, that's pretty much it. That's Gargoyles in a nutshell. They go pretty fast, assuming you get the good AI and whatnot. And this is a good time to manipulate your menu if need be. It all looks fine to me. So then we're just going to go ring the bell, and we're going to Homeward Bone. And that'll pretty much bring us back to Firelink and end the Drake Sword part of this tutorial. We're back for the second part of this tutorial. As you can see, we have a battle axe this time. I'm actually just transitioning out of an awful Gargoyles fight, but you know what? With movie magic, we don't have to tell you that, but we did anyway. So I'm going to show the red tearstone setup when you start Hunter. It's basically, this is the red tearstone setup now for Gargoyles fight. You just hug that left wall, run towards this guy. He's not doing the proper attack, so that's unfortunate. If he does his running attack, you actually just backstep through it, and since backstepping gives you infinite poise, it's pretty much ideal, and yeah. So the backup strat is getting stabbed twice and hoping that chip damage will actually bring you low enough, and I'm not sure if it will at the moment. It does not appear so. So this is a good time to show how important it is to know backup strats. So as you can see, I ended up getting the red tearstone by blocking with my weapon. Blocking with the weapon obviously doesn't block too much damage compared to a shield, so I can take extra damage. And unfortunately, the Hollow did the worst attack, but that's fine. So as you can see, Gargoyle is already out because we messed up before, but that's fine. Jump attack is important because you can chop the tail easy. 2 hits to stagger with Battle Axe, which makes this fight quite easy, unless he does that attack. That's the one attack that Gargoyles really can do to mess with you when you're in the red tearstone. Dodging is probably the most important thing in this fight, and as you can see, we ended up doing everything just fine, and the Gargoyles are now dead. So now this is where things are going to be a little different. This is the Battle Axe fight, but this is the Battle Axe fight for specifically the red tearstone Black Knight Halberd run. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different than just boning out, especially because we don't have a bone, as we have killed no bosses that give us a bone. So we're going to ring the bell like normal, and then things are going to have a little bit of a change up. So I'm going to turn my camera around, and I'm going to hit Estus. So that'll bring us to just above half health. If you were in the perfect red tearstone range, then you would actually do double roll at that point straight towards this ladder, and if you do 2 perfect rolls, you'll actually land on this platform, and it's 100% safe. But because we're so low, this drop should red tearstone us, and it does. And then here you want to buy 4 bones, as long as you're doing the the same run. You should have 8,500 souls. I guess I should recover my souls. Nah. Okay, you're supposed to have 8,500. Whatever. So, because we have red tearstone, but we need more souls to use the halberd, so we're gonna murder Oswald. 3 hits, wait for him, then 1 more hit, and he dies. Switch to bones, wait for him to die. Could take some amount of time, and then you homeward bone back to Parish. And that's the red tearstone Black Knight Halberd. We are back. I might as well show you the final one, getting through the Undead Church. This is also the Battle Axe fight, but it's a little bit different because we can actually tank hits. We don't have to worry about red tier. And there's one specific strategy for the church that I have not shown yet. So This is the bandit start. As you can see, we have spider shield, battle axe, and bandit gear. And we just pretty much sprint all this way. Your souls don't matter. It's going to be the same number of hits no matter what, unless you counter hit. Again, counter hitting is the important part. So this guy, you just kind of want to block and just edge around him. You want to run into this room, turn to your left, block at least one hit, sometimes it's 2 hits, so this guy gets out of the doorway, and then you sprint past, and you're set. The only situation where that actually doesn't work, as well as it did there, is if the channeler decides to not do the dance. But if he shoots magic at you, you're still fine. It might break your guard, but he won't actually hit you with anything. No damage, aside from the small chip. So here's where we use resin, hit the cutscene, and then we just sprint past. He does a slow attack. Good. Angle off the tail chop. Tail chop is very important. I didn't exactly say why, but tail chop basically lets you just get free hits. Unfortunately, we had a very wonky tail chop. So as you can see, we didn't actually kill him as easily as we should have. And that's because I hit with the second half of the attack. Like, as you can see here, when I swing, there's like a delay if I don't hit in the first half. And if I hit in the second half, it actually does reduce damage. So that's what ended up happening there. But as you can see, gargoyles are not too bad. You just have to make sure to keep your eyes on both of them at any given moment, assuming both of them are out. If only one's out, then it's no problem. Get behind it, keep staggering. Battle axe will always stagger in 2 light attacks. Swords will always stagger in 3. And the only other weapon that matters is the Gravelord sword, but that fight is so basic that it doesn't matter. Alright, here I'm going to actually ask this to show you the 2-roll strat. You can 2-roll straight out of the lever, but the issue with that is that you don't get as much distance, so you can only do it to the left. But I'm going to actually Estus, just so I can show 2 perfect rolls out of an action. Lets you just land right there perfectly safe, skipping a ladder. And because we don't have any bones, we're actually just going to buy 2 bones in this run, rather than the 4 before. And you actually don't have to kill Oswald in this run. The souls are irrelevant. And that's pretty much it. That is the final way through Parish, or to Parish rather, as well as the 3 main gargoyle fights that you will run across in speedrunning. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. This video actually took a long time to make just because the RNG on gargoyles was not cooperating, as well as my own mistakes, of course. But thank you for watching, and next video will be on the trip to Quelaag.